Let's go. So, hi everybody, welcome to our session 1 of Masks Titans. I'm going to introduce you to my crew in a moment. So what we did last session was set up our session 0, which established our world, and we're playing in Union City, which is a modern metropolis in a sort of fictional America. It is a city of super science and innovation, and a massive sprawling metropolis as far as the eye can see. We identified and we created the Titans. The Titans are the world's foremost superhero team. And we'll be introduced to some of them and the impact on the characters as we're going along. What I'm trying to do in this actual play for Masks, and the ones I will be doing for the rest, pretty much the rest of the year, because I've set myself up to run Masks all year on the Gauntlet, because everyone needs a challenge, right? What I'm doing here is we are setting up close to sort of pure Masks, but really it's the impact of those sort of big Justice League Avengers type figures and their impact on their sort of mentors, so people they mentee, the wards, junior superhero team trying to find their place in the world. So we are playing under the Gauntlet's inclusivity policy, which means we're using open door. So if someone drops out, if they're not very well, or there's a need to go, they can do that. We're playing with the X card and script change. So we've established that if anyone sees there's an X issue, they'll shout out so we can stop and reflect on it. And we're using script change as well, so we can pause, rewind, fast forward, and get through things if we need to also. I think we're all comfortable with that. So I'm going to start introducing one by one, as I say, our characters. I'm going to go in for the first time today. I'm going to go in character keeper order, but then I'm going to mix it up so we get an idea of who we've got here. So what I'd like to do is start with our introduction to Glitch. So Glitch, if you can introduce yourself and the character you're playing. And then we're going to loop around everyone and come back to an establishing scene of every character. And I want to understand the sort of areas that your character is going to patrol and what they do in the city when we see them being slightly super heroic, and sort of spotlight them for a moment. Okay, but let's just start with player and character introductions. So Glitch, let's go with you.
Okay, my name's Robbie. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Glitch. That's his name when he's a superhero. His other name is Scipio, or Skippy Who Would. Uses he, him pronouns. Skippy was a computer nerd, kind of got into some advanced work with complex neural networks. And was kind of wondering about, whether a complex artificial neural network could take some type of physical form. And as a result of this, it kind of did that by taking, kind of infusing itself into Skippy's form. And so as a result of this, Skippy or Glitch is now kind of in this curious twilight zone between being, I guess you could say, organic and being digital. And I think one of the things that makes him perhaps a bit unsettling for people who look at him is that he has signs of being partly digital, and his name Glitch is apt, because I think you see this kind of, you might almost talk about it as a kind of tug of war between the digital and the organic going on and taking part in his physical form. Mm-hmm. I imagine in a comic book that Glitch would be drawn with a distinctively different style from all the other characters, that they might even bring on a different artist to kind of handle Glitch with some kind of pixelation effects and things like that you sometimes see kind of moving across his body.
Okay. So, unfortunately, one of our players, Stephen, can't join us today. He was playing Tank. We'll spend a bit of time spotlighting Tank at the start of the next session. So we'll move across to Pearl and Bobby B. So, Pearl, would you like to introduce yourself, your character, and the playbook you're playing?
Yeah, I'm Pearl. I use she and her pronouns. And I'm very excited to be here because I love all these players and I love Dave and I love masks. And I am playing Bobby B, the B-boy. What up, what up? It's me, Bobby B, in the house again. I know you're all thrilled to see me like I am to see you because we're a team. That's how teams work. No I in team. That's what the coach says. I'm not sure how it applies, but the coach usually knows, so I'm going to say it. And I'm mostly into breakdancing and acrobatics. Like, I'm really good at that. And I'm playing this Beacon playbook. And I really think what the Beacon playbook is the player that does not have any powers that much, but I do have a power, kind of. I don't know how to use it, really. But somehow I started doing this phasing thing, which is awesome. And then I accidentally phased in this lab, and this guy made me this suit. He's really cool. He's named Dr. W. And I think the suit's going to help me figure it out. And then I'm going to be really rad because I'll be able to like use phasing in my dancing. But otherwise, I'm just really psyched to be a part of this awesome team. Like, at the end of the year when I graduate and I lose my B-boys, I got a whole new crew already set up. So I just got to prove that even though I don't have all the like crazy powers and stuff, that, you know, I belong in the group. But I've been like tying things around my neck like a cape and running around my house since I was like 3. So I figure I got like some extra years of practice on the attitude. I might do it. I'm hoping they'll do it. They'll probably do it. Anyway, it's Bobby B again. Y'all are awesome. I gotta go do some one-arm push-ups. Peace out.
Awesome. Thank you, Pearl. So let's introduce PopinJay next, played by Marco. So Marco, again, yourself, your character, your playbook, please.
I'm Marco. I use he, him pronouns, and so does my character PopinJay. He is the legacy playbook. PopinJay has wings that are coming out of his back, and he can fire blasts of energy out of his body, and he's really resilient, pretty much invulnerable. And the first Popinjay was my grandfather, and he is retired, but quite critical of the way I represent his namesake. Um, and my aunt is the current face or leader of the Titans. Her name is Peregrine, and I was her sidekick until this team was formed by the Titans um, to kind of give us experience working a little bit outside of their influence. Uh, the last couple of incidents that our group has been involved in, there was the incident in the Titan Center, and then when I was on patrol with Tank, I got in trouble for the pretty much the same infraction, and that is uh, concent- jumping into the battle without following all of the protocols of the Titans have put into place, um, like communicating with them and letting them know what we're getting involved with, and taking things a little more slowly. Um, but I'm 18, and so I get excited.
Excellent. Thank you, Marco. And last in the playbook order is Sawyer. So same for you, please. Introduce yourself, your character, and your playbook.
Hello, I am Sawyer. Gender-wise, I am a void. I will accept all pronouns said with respect, and I am playing Jerry Tran. Just a note, only 20% of Vietnamese people do not have Nguyen as a last name, thanks to a very corrupt emperor who decided to have the largest amount of ancestors in the afterlife with vast name changes. So his parents actually kind of have pride and expectations for him. Sadly, Jerry does not feel he can really live up to all these expectations because he is the delinquent playbook. And I mean, look, like we have a person from a mutant dynasty, um, a superpowered computer being, a transcendent AI person. Even Bobby B has better moves than I do. I got my power from drugs. I just stuck two fingers in the air at Margaret Thatcher's plans and got powers, but yeah, I'm going to try my best and prove that I deserve to be on this team, and I'm going to support them the best I can.
Awesome. Thank you, Sawyer. So we're gonna do an opening scene with every character here, just to sort of see where they are. And I want you to place your character doing what they would do in their patrols or their superhero alter ego, or if you prefer, your real life. Whatever you think is going to get us the best feel for your character. But let's find out about Papillion first, and what do they patrol? Establish the character. Let's see that first scene. Describe it in full comic book color for me, please, where we see Papillon for the first time and meet him in issue 1 of our series.
I think there's like this, it's kind of a dark alley, and I think there's these two women going down it, and Papillon steps out and directs them towards the correct like I think to a safe house of some kind, and then he just leaves the alley like nothing happened, trying to lead anyone who's following them after him. But he patrols for the underdogs, those who have no one else.
So tell me a little more about this safe house. Is it where women on the trying to get away from abuse are going, or is it helping people get access to safe and clean drugs? What's he trying to set up and support here in his community?
I think this is this is in the Asian town, and
Yeah.
it is it is a place where the people whose families would not allow international marriages, no a person who's Chinese and Vietnamese descent can go here and be together without their parents disapproving.
Awesome. Okay. I put in sort of a holding note. At least it's colloquially referred to as A Town, but if you want to give it a different, more meaningful name, Sawyer, we can do that.
Yeah.
Have a think and come back to you if we want to declare it at a later point. So they thank you and sort of head across and into their respective into this safe house to spend time apart from the eyes of prying parents, grandparents, and cultural norms. Same for PopinJay. Let's describe the opening comic panel that we see of PopinJay.
PopinJay, you see crouched on the the edge of a kind of Gothic building, maybe a church, um, with his wings folded up behind him, and he's scanning the streets, uh, looking for something unusual, and then he just kicks off the side of the building, and his wings spread out, and he circles around the city, um, uh, like a kind of like a bird of prey, watching the streets and uh, uh, looking for uh, looking for trouble. And I think he's got some kind of device from Dr. M. Just earpieces maybe for the party to communicate with each other, and he's checking in with the other members of the team to see if uh, what they're seeing from their vantage points.
So he's keeping an eye on the team who are probably primed to do something cool. All right, I'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's cut across to hear from Bobby. Pearl, you're muted if you're speaking.
Sorry, dog computer steppings makes for mutings. Sorry, let me collect myself now that I have the computer back under control and not falling off the bed. Remind me, oh, this is my opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, it's been a time. Okay, so I think for Bobby B, honestly, if nobody objects, I feel like Bobby B's opening scene is an 80s style montage, but in comic book form.
Yeah, go for it. Just describe it to us.
So you get like the little, you know how, like, to show the music is being played in comics, they'll put like little musical notes sort of floating around.
Yep.
And you get like one lyric of the Eye of the Tiger just to show what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music notes continue. And you get one-armed push-ups, which are his like signature, just basic thing that he does in his spare time. And then a couple of random moves. But the very last panel, which is like the biggest one at the bottom, centered in the screen, is because B-Qubed is Bobby B's name. He's developed this new move where he goes onto his knees, like shins on the floor, knees at a right angle, and then he bends backwards at another right angle and puts his arm behind him, and he makes a cube.
Cool. So establish that. Excellent. And let's find and describe what Glitch is doing. The same questions for you, please.
For the opening pages introducing Glitch, I think you see him foiling a robbery attempt, and Glitch hangs out a lot at kind of stores that are selling the newest electronics, kind of checking things out. And I think you see him in there one day when a group of low-level criminals attempts a raid on the store. And you see, that they kind of come in with armed robbery style. Glitch very coolly makes his way to a computer terminal, and you kind of see him doing his computer thing, which almost involves like becoming one with the computer terminal. Like visually, it's like the two get fused. What you then see is the store goes into lockdown mode, like when it closes up, like all these steel doors and things come down, And I think the last thing that you see in that panel is then Glitch confronting these kind of low level petty criminals, and he intentionally is kind of glitching out in a kind of way that seems, well, ends up having a very disturbing effect on most people, because they kind of see this, what they think to be a human form that is obviously not entirely human, and using that, then the police, kind of the law enforcement, make their way in after he's kind of just blocked any kind of escape for them.
So, just for my benefit, there is Glitch there when the police arrived, or has Glitch faded into the ether?
I think that yeah, Glitch is not a spotlight type of person. So I think once he's aware that that the law enforcement is on the scene, he probably makes a back exit.
Cool. Okay, so we see the scene as we finish our introductions of the police looking confused at why these crooks are all bound up, ready for them to take away. Where do the team hang out and meet as a team? I'm going to ask that one. I'm going to ask that one of PopinJay. What is the headquarters for your team?
I think we have a base provided to us by the Titans. It's not as grand as like theirs. Maybe it was one of their old locations, and it's got some places to hang out, do research, and monitor the city. Um, and we've got like TVs and video games uh, and things like that in there. But
Awesome.
I think we might also have some place in town that we hang out, but I don't know where that is.
This is a good establishing question, right? Do you know each other's secret identities? Do you hang out just as a team? I think those are sort of things we want to sort of discuss in a minute. But let's
I
sort
don't
of
really,
yeah.
I don't really have a secret identity because I'm always got wings sticking out of my back, and everybody knows who we are. So
Cool.
it's hard. So anybody who has a secret identity probably doesn't necessarily want to associate with me during their secret identity time because, right, I'd give away their
Yeah, potentially
anonymity.
so. Cool. Let's each all add one other feature to the hangout. Let's ask Glitch, what does your bit of the hangout with all the tech look like?
Okay, so my bit of the hangout, I mean, I think it's almost like a kind of cubicle that is like just wall to wall monitors and things of that sort. I mean, I'm like, you probably see me a lot of times just kind of Glitches like furiously multitasking in there, right? It's like 360 multitasking kind of going on for Glitch a lot of the times.
Cool. B-Squared, what does Bobby's addition to the hangout look like?
Yo, I know no offense was probably intended, but that's B-Qubed.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
B-Qubed.
it's cool, man. So my area is kind of, it looks sort of like a gymnastics area. Probably we'll have more phasing stuff later. I don't know what a phasing stuff would look like, but when I get good at it, we'll add it. But for now, I'm working on all my like parkoury acrobatic stuff. So we've got like some parallel bars that I can like swing off of, and a pommel horse, like if you ever saw the movie Gymkata, so I can fight ninjas, like he does in Gymkata. And then some things that are made to look like street objects so that I can practice like, you know, swooshing around them. All cool.
Cool.
I'm getting good.
Excellent. Papillion, what about what has Papillion brought to the headquarters?
It's not so much brought as well, there was this like plant-based hero a long time ago who had a garden, and it's now just it's filled with butterflies, and I like to mimic as many butterflies as I can with my psychic powers, and it has a reflecting pool and it feels nice. I like it.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to establish a scene. I'm going to do that with, again, just to set something up a second. I'm going to establish this scene with Papillion, who you get a text, and it's from your brother. He says, "Hey, dude, I need your help." So you know, Diego sort of texts you going like, "There's some crazy stuff in the old neighborhood. We need you to sort it out."
Crazy stuff like Mwahaha super villain, or crazy stuff like gangs?
You know, crazy stuff like gangs. You know, someone's trying to shake down Mrs. Kim for extortion money, and she can't put it into the food bank no more. So text says, you know, I know you're a big time hero right now, but maybe you can come help your real peeps.
Yeah, and I think like he's sighing as that text is coming in. Like as soon as the sigh's out, he reads it. Can't sigh any deeper. Starts walking out of the garden to get the rest of the gang. Yeah, I think the garden has to be close to that acrobatics setup.
Yeah. Oh well, carry on role playing. Establish the team. You don't need me to intervene at this point.
Yeah, so I think Papillion comes out of the doors open up. He steps out into like the exercise area. Is there like a panel like Bobby B just like jumping right next to him?
There's a panel that's just a bunch of like swooshy lines around the different things, and then there's a panel of him landing right next to you.
Oh, dude, there's this gang holding up a friend of mine back home.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's rude and illegal. So I figure we could like handle it.
Well, and they're your friends. Like, those are your homies. You always have to like take care of your homies.
You understand me so well.
I got your back. You know that. No gang is a match for our gang. Or crew. I usually call it a crew. But we could be a gang for today, just to say that.
Okay. And he'll look around like, should we go get the other two?
On it. Bobby B jumps on a parallel bar, does a like quadruple flip and lands in Glitch's area.
Yeah. So Glitch turns to Bobby B and says, Papillon's brother again. And this a constant issue, this brother of his, always kind of creating a little extra work for me, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Right? It's okay. But I already know what's going on. I've got the read on Mrs. Kim. I've been doing my homework here. I'm ready to go. And the one thing about like these things that Glitch is saying, he has a lot of information here that was not told to him by you or Papillon. He's obviously been picking it up from, right, all of his monitoring that he's doing in there. He's already fully aware of any kind of incoming cell phone transmissions that kind of come into the to the headquarters.
I'm so getting a refund on this VPN.
All right, so Glitch, my brother in not always being completely here in this dimension. It sounds like you're in.
I'm always in.
I knew it. Awesome. Let's go get PopinJay.
I think Papillon has like found PopinJay in wherever he has been located, and he's just putting it on thick. Oh, we are in such trouble, and a big, strong, powerful hero is what we need to handle what's going on right now. And PopinJay, you're the only dude that sounds like right now.
This sounds like there's going to be some pretty big strings attached. What do you need? What do you need us to do, or me to do?
Strings attached? No, we're fighting a gang.
Well, do we necessarily have to fight them? I mean, when they get a load of me, maybe maybe they'll decide to take a wiser course of action.
That sounds like it would be amazing, and if that happens, I'll take you out to wherever you want to go to, like, hang out.
Okay.
But if we do have to fight, you're in?
Sure.
Sweet.
It would be really well. What do we know about this gang? You said it's in A-Town?
Yeah, it's an A-Town, and, well, they're really rude, and my brother knows about them, so they can't be that powerful if my brother knows.
Okay.
Yeah. Glitch might know more. Glitch knows everything.
Oh, well, let's find out what Glitch knows.
Yeah, it's got to be like us coming together.
To this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I imagine that Glitch has picked up a little bit on just any follow up from that original kind of text transmission that was coming through. Glitch has kind of followed up on, but so I'd heard Mrs. Kim, I've heard about this, so I imagine it. I don't know that I would. That Glitch knows a lot about the gang per se, but at least the layout of the area or something like that. He'd pull up maps and already be kind of thinking about, okay, well, if it's in this area, we got Cardinal Street over there, we got Stork Street over there. This is the way it's laid out. If there's gang activity, right, he would already have kind of worked out what he thinks kind of key points would be in that kind of vicinity.
Do you think you can find out, like, prior arrest history from members of the gang or suspected operations that they are currently involved in that we could maybe threaten pressure on their sources of income by, you know, squeezing their illegal operations if we know what they are.
Yes. So with this, David, I might need a little help from you in terms of what. I mean, like, I don't know what that original.
Cool. So I just realized I muted myself there, but yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was only trying to say like, what? People talking over me, and that's because I'm muted, right? So, what that sounds like to me, Glitch. To find that out, you are going to need to assess the situation.
Okay.
So you're rolling assess the situation. This is our first move of the game. You're rolling with Superior. You will find the link to the roll for your party in the safety and support tools, but I'm going to throw it again into the chat window here to go to publicly equipped Ren. Has anyone not used roll for the party before? We're all okay, right? So we're going to choose. We're going to choose 2 dice. Put your label with it and choose a different color to one that you see on the board. But we're going to roll some bones, virtual bones.
So let me get this set up. Put my name in here. All right. So, and my superior is, I rolled a 6, and so that's actually a 5 that I rolled.
Wow.
We have one team, right?
We have one team right now. Well, actually, no, I've given you 2 team because we did all the work in the setup last time. So this is really our session 2. So I put 2 team into the
I
pool,
only
right?
need one because I think I'm helping them I'm helping them through this like by allowing them to hack cameras illegally to view to pinpoint this gang.
So are you putting one of your moves there, Papillion?
Yes, I am a troublemaker. Whenever I aid the team through illegal means, I can spend one team to add +2 to a roll.
So describe how you assist. What do we see in the screen where Glitch looks so confident and all of a sudden you realize there's a mistake? How does how do you help?
Like, Auntie Kim is Auntie Kim's on this street. There's like I think he's so used to like noticing where the cameras are. It's like camera on this telephone pole, camera in this district, camera on this shop. Focus them all towards her shop. You'll find something.
Yeah. Police records, most up-to-date police records reflect that the gang who were active in this area are called the Scarlet Knives. But when you cut to the video, you spot something that sort of, I think, especially we can establish between Glitch and Papillion, spot something which is a symbol on one of the gangs, which determine that that's not the gang. What's the symbol that you see that's there, or color that you see, Glitch, that sort of identifies this?
I think it's a kind of gold medallion with a kind of I don't know, a kind of elaborate mandala type patterning that's on this kind of gold medallion that you can see.
And that allows Papillion to immediately recognize that this is not the Scarlet Knives. This is a whole level of more trouble. This is the Crystal Knuckle Association, and it's run by Jung Golden Fist, as he declares himself. He's trouble, and he doesn't normally worry about the small stuff like this. So why the hell is he downtown causing trouble?
Oh dear. I have no idea why. Or is that a narrative prompt for me to say why he is?
That's for you to find out. You could do either or both. You can narratively prompt, or you can find it out in the fiction.
Oh, I think Jerry is too worried, needs to find out in the fiction, but he's going to grab everyone and teleport to that location, or at least try to.
So that sounds to me like you are unleashing your powers.
Yes, and luckily I'm getting a +1 forward from Team What Team, because the first time in a session that you use team to help a teammate, take +1 forward.
Cool. And just to remind, in fact, as you do that teleport, make a roll, and then we didn't really close down that assess the situation because I should have had I should have had Glitch ask a question. That's my bad. But let's in fact let's do that and let's roll right after that. But what you get to do, Glitch, because you had support to pass your assess the situation, is ask me one question from the list of assess the situation moves. I'm pretty flexible with these. If you find that there's a better question to ask rather than the ones that are there in the list, you can ask me them. I'll veto it if it's too overpowering, but otherwise it's all good. So what's the assess the situation that Glitch needs to ask me?
Right. So I've seen some video footage of these gang members. So I guess when I'm viewing that, I'm taking a close look at them to see. I guess maybe I could say who or what here is most vulnerable to me. Like if we're going to be getting into action against these people that we see, what do I see there that, or who do I see there that would be vulnerable?
Cool. So taking that moment to investigate the camera footage a little bit faster and optically zooming in, we spot and we can see that Golden Fist is wearing some sort of fancy cybernetic fists on his hands. And the team don't seem to be carrying knives and guns anymore. They're carrying high-tech gear that you expect to see in the special response team from the cops in the city. So these guys is loaded for bear. But this is cop equipment, right? So this is cop equipment, which means that you've already thought about ways to maybe break this through. So who in here is what vulnerable to me is you already know the attack vectors into the weaponry here, or the guns, with the exception of the Golden Fists. You haven't seen those before, but you can take +1 forward on the rest of the team.
Okay.
Papillion, how did that unleash your powers go for us?
I got a 12.
Boom! Describe the visual effect of the teleport, because it's the first time we've seen it. What does it look like?
I think like it looks like all these fibers come out of Papillon's back, and it cocoons the entire team up in it. The cocoon disappears in one explosion of like light, and that like disappears inwards, almost like I think like a triangle of light that then just vanishes a bit. Then the cocoon bursts open at the exit point, depositing them all how they had been standing or hovering before.
So we see as you appear, bang! Bystanders in the town, a town just outside Mrs. Kim's shop, point and look at you and say, "Oh my gosh, it's the ... And we'll take our first break there. And come back momentarily. And when we come back, we're going to have to double down. So during this 5-10 minute break, folks, we need to decide before I restart recording, what are you guys called? So I'm going to press the record button, pause. So the crowd looks at you, the sort of people nearby, and go, one of them points and goes, "It's the Vanguard." And the mother of that young woman nearby goes, "Oh, but the mayor says they're bad boys. Don't be hanging out with them. They cause trouble. They're not like the Titans." And then you can see them, you guys appear ready for action. Who does what? I'm going to give the option to describe first to PopinJay. What does PopinJay do?
After being dressed down twice previously, this time PopinJay hits the communication device I don't know if it's like a Bluetooth in the ear or how you would imagine it looking. But he contacts Dr. M if he can get through because Dr. M is so far the only one who hasn't yelled at us. Um, and just say, hey, we're going to, we're in A-Town investigating some possible gang activity. And it looks to be like it might be multi-layered.
So, yeah, Dr. M is, we sort of, I think, yeah, they're quite powerful, and you can always sort of get in contact if you want to with one of the Titans. So there's a connection, and click, and Dr. M goes, PopinJay, I have a grand announcement for the team later on. It's going to be a huge reveal for W Global. Come by once you've sorted out this little trouble for me. The trouble down in A-Town. A-Town tends to be Norton space, but look, protect the civilians, keep them safe. I believe in you. Be the hero that you be the hero that I know you can be. And he's telling you who you are and infecting influence over you. Would you like to accept or reject that influence being used on you by Dr. W?
I think I'm interpreting it as him actually propping me up and giving me inspiration. So yeah, I accept it. I don't feel bullied.
Cool. So I'm going to move your superior up one, and I'm going to move your danger down one by an impact of me moving your label. Okay.
And this, I don't have any conditions to clear. What are things that happen when you allow someone to change you?
So when someone with influence over you tells you who you are, the world works, accept what they say or reject it. If you accept what they say, the GM adjusts your label accordingly. If you want to keep your labels as they are, you must reject the influence. So unless it's something like an end of session move or a comfort and support, there's no other mechanical effects. It is simply the way that the world sees you, because as young superheroes, you are very you're very easily influenced by the way that the world describes you. But he sort of says, scout out, protect, defend. Only hit when you know that your strike will end this situation. I believe in you. Make sure that B-Qubed is safe out there, okay?
B-Qubed can handle himself.
Sure.
Papillion, your people, your town, what do you do?
I think he starts summoning his psychic weapons. There's this, again, like this butterfly forms around his left arm, like a buckler, just made out of glowing psychic energy. Forms like this, just angry-looking axe in his other hand. And, just like points at them, like, "We are the Vanguard, and we say your actions are not welcome here. So stand down or stand ready to fight." I think I'm provoking them to choose an action.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, here.
I'm sorry. What's in front of us as far as enemies? Like what do we see here?
Well, I think the way you just described, as it's just been described there, I think we will cut it back to the point where we saw them on camera out on the street, and that allowed you to jump straight into the teleport of Papillion. So you can see Jung the Golden Fist and members of the Crystal Knuckle Association standing there, and they look at you, and yeah, and let's see how that provokes someone goes.
I got an 8.
So on a 7 to 9, they can instead choose one. They stumble, you take +1 forward against them. They err, you gain a critical over opportunity. They overact, and you gain influence over them. So he's definitely overreacting. He looks at you and looks at the town, the people looking around him, and realizes that this is how he makes himself, and claps his fists together, and there's a sort of a yong as they hit, and then everyone else sort of draws out these sort of exotic-looking weapons, taking gangster stances with ray guns, and they sort of square up across a double panel. Them looking at you, you looking at them, and going, "You ain't no Titans. You just wannabes." He said, "We're going to take you down, and I'm going to make my name, and I'm going to, sit on a throne made out of your bones, wannabe." But you do take influence over Golden Fist at this point, because you have managed to do it. They dive straight into you without really thinking, guns blazing.
So the influence, can that be used by only Papillion, or
Yep.
like if Glitch was trying to do something?
No, it's individuals with character. No, it's the
Okay.
character. So Papillon has influence over Golden Fist. Okay. Glitch, what do you do as this starts kicking off? How does Glitch react?
Well, I think, to kind of deliver on that +1 forward that we get, I mean, I think that Glitch is rattling off, seeing all this high-tech weaponry. He says, okay, we got 2 of those BB-45s. I've never seen those before, but there they are. And you better watch out, because, right, they've got particularly effective stun power when you're close to them. Oh, and they're, so you get this kind of rattle of all of the kind of tech gear that's on, and kind of letting the other members of my team know about, like, all of the techs. But then I also will say, but those cybernetic fists, I had no clue what's going on with those.
Cool. So the Crystal Knuckle Association are not the best shots, and they're shooting indiscriminately at you, and that means they're shooting indiscriminately into the people around you as well. But with your +1 forward and knowing what you're about to figure out here, why don't you see if you can defend those people around you from being hit by the weapons?
Okay.
So you're going to roll with Savior.
Yeah, I'm rolling on my weaker. Well, Savior, I'm not too bad. I'm even up on that one. So let's see what happens here. So I got a 5 on that.
Unfortunately not. As you try to counter the weapons, don't forget you got a +1 forward, so that would take you to a 6. Unless there's a point of well, let's figure out one other things actually just on that roll, because I forgot to do something. Because do we feel we are entering a battle against a dangerous foe as a team? I think the answer to that is yes, right? So the team needs to go up by 2 points to 3. If the leader has influence over every teammate at another team, who is the leader in this situation, do we believe?
PopinJay has the prettiest wings. He said he's going to make them. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go. So are we saying that PopinJay is who the team believes to be their leader?
Makes sense to me.
PopinJay, do you have influence over every other teammate? I'll let you limit that to the teammates currently here.
No, I have no influence over Glitch.
Good if you get some later on then, right? Okay, so we haven't got that. If any team member mistrusts the leader of the team, remove a team. Papillion, do you trust PopinJay?
Of course.
Glitch, do you trust PopinJay?
Yeah, I have trust in PopinJay.
B-Qubed, do you trust PopinJay?
Dude, he's part of the team. How can you even ask me that?
Cool. So no minus there. If your team is ill-prepared or off-balance, remove a team. Nope, because of Glitch's work earlier on, you are prepared. So you have 3 teams. So I'm going to come back and double check with Glitch there. Did you take your +1 forward onto your roll because you were well prepared from your assessed situation?
Yeah, so that takes me to a 6. I believe.
Hey, does someone from the team want to help to turn that from a 6 to a 7?
I want to help.
Describe how Bobby helps protect the civilians, turn this into a 7 to 9.
It is by trying to draw attention away, although I don't know that he really has that much thought behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But he just starts yelling taunts at them.
Cool. So rather than shoot it indiscriminately, they're trying to shoot this wise ass with a big mouth, which seems totally appropriate to me. So on a 7 to 9, when we defend, it costs you, but you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. And again, Glitch, this was your move. So you add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or you clear a condition.
Well, with the take influence over somebody you protect, I mean, is that just going to be the civilians, or does that include? I mean, it's mainly them, right? That it would be.
That I think at the moment, yeah, that would how I would frame that.
Let's go with that. I mean, can you take influence over a group like that, like those who are in the area that?
Yeah, look, I'm going to give you influence over take influence over the neighborhood here, right? Just note down the neighborhood in a second. Now we'll name it after the fight. So Mrs. Kim is probably going to love you greatly for helping defend her little store. So great. Current time sets at 3. Because it was a 7 and 9, you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. And as that was being described by leaping around and describe this sort of really trying to draw their fire from the peoples, I'm afraid, Bobby B, you need to take a powerful blow.
Oh dear. That's cool. I mean, if it's for the team, you know.
So when you're rolling for a type powerful blow, you're rolling plus conditions marked. Quite importantly here, this is different from almost every other PBTA move. Low is good, high is bad here, right? So we're gonna roll plus conditions.
Okay, I don't think I have any.
I don't think you have any conditions at the moment either.
Okay. So I got a 7, it looks like.
On a 7 and 9, you choose one. Lash out verbally, provoke a teammate, or take foolhardy action, or take an advantage of, So on a 7 to 9, you give ground, your opposition gains an opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. You are going to mark a condition anyway as you are hit, but...
Okay. These are the 2 conditions in addition to so it's 3 total?
No, it'll be 2 total instead.
Okay. And lash out verbally is either provoke a teammate to foolhardy action or take advantage of my influence to inflict. Oh, I don't want to do something to the team. All right, I'll mark some conditions. That's cool.
Cool. So have a think about what you're going to mark. We'll come back to those in a moment. And it's all gone a little bit full on. PopinJay, what do you do?
I think I'm going to position myself sort of in front of the team to try and you know, by hovering up in the air uh, and making a more easy target of myself than Bobby B. And I'm going to directly engage. I'm sorry. What fist was he called? What was the villain's name?
Golden
Oh,
Fist.
Golden Fist. I'm sorry. Yeah, by you know, just unleashing my energy blast at him from the sky and zapping him where he stands.
Okay, so sounds to me in that case that you're trying to unleash your powers. So you roll unleash your powers with Freak.
Oh, okay.
Well, if it's sort of if you're calling down your powers in that way, it would feel more like unleash your powers rather than directly engage a threat to me. But I'm happy
Okay.
to be. No, I suppose no. What are you trying? Is it to try and take them out? Are you trying to directly hit them? Or are you trying to sort of reshape the landscape or use your powers to overcome things? What's the overall
I
aim
was
here, Marco?
I was just trying to blast him and you know maybe knock him down or knock him back and you know get him away from concentrating on Bobby B.
Cool. Okay, then. Well, let's go for directly engage the threat.
And my danger is down at the moment to a -1 thanks to this speech. So where is that roll for your party thing? Where did it go?
Let me send it
Oh,
to
there it
you.
is. No, I got it. And I have a +1 forward, right, um, from glitch.
No,
Right?
only glitch carries that forward.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm at a 5.
Okay, so let's describe how your power bolts look. What does that look like the first time we've seen him? Describe how that appears, and I'll tell you what happens.
While in the air, he kind of um, has both arms like fists in front of him, pointed towards Golden Fists, and a bright orangey glow appears around his hands, and then just a blast of energy comes out, streaking towards Golden Fist.
Cool. So Golden Fist sort of crosses our arms and it impacts into the cyber gauntlets, and the energy bolts go crackling into them, and all of a sudden they go bouncing back straight at you. So I'd like you to take a powerful blow.
Okay. I also have no conditions.
Sure.
So I got a 5, which in take a powerful blow is good.
That is correct. On a miss, you stand strong. Mark potential as normal. So make sure you mark potential.
Okay.
Well, you mark 2 potential there, right? Because effectively, you failed your roll, and you stand strong. So what does that look
Oh,
like
great.
as the energy bolt comes back and hits you?
I think it kind of looks like the Superman thing where I just because I'm invulnerable, so this blast of energy hits me. This is like a Thursday training with Aunt Lakshmi. This is nothing, and he blasts me, and I just kind of give him a look like, "Oh, you just made a bad mistake, Sonny." And
Cool. So let's turn our attention to Papillion at that point. Um, they've just shot into the crowd indiscriminately. They've just shot at Bobby B and PopinJay. What are you going to do to defend your team and your people?
I think he raises the axe high in the air, then slams on the ground. It explodes into a flock of psionic butterflies. He's trying to have these butterflies deflect every blast that is being aimed at his team and his people. So I am rolling to defend with my powers then.
Cool.
This is going to go horribly. Yes, that is a 5.
Mark potential. We see you. Well, describe the look and feel of this to start with, if you wouldn't mind, please. Paint the scene.
I think normally these butterflies are just made of his psychic energy, but he's running low on it because he teleported the entire team. So they begin leeching the like willpower of his people and like everyone who's not a villain. He's like leeching their energy to stay awake at the moment, and they're making them lethargic.
Sounds like you've overextended yourself a little bit there. And though it has come up, and those are there, it's taken its toll. And I'd like you to mark a condition, please.
Oh, this feels like I should be very guilty about this.
Sure. So yeah, for anyone who's seen the butterflies come out before, they're normally one color, but this is like a rainbow going off, a cacophony of different ones. If anyone wants to pick this up with Papillion later on, and we take a second to go around. I've given everyone an action already, haven't I? So let's come back up, and Golden Fit sort of points at Papillion and says, "You think you're the defender of this neighborhood? This is my town. You get out of here, or I'm going to make you pay." Papillion, how do you respond to being directly called out?
Oh, I think he just grits his teeth and is like, I've been told worse by better than you.
Cool. And what do you do next?
I think, oh God, I am guilty about my teammate. I mean, PopinJay wasn't able to take him on, but I remember PopinJay attacks differently than I do. So I think Papillion just launches himself at Golden Fist, trying to shield bash him with his psionic butterfly on his left hand.
Okay, so are you directly engaging a threat?
Yes, I am. I get a +1 due to the influence I have on Golden Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a 12.
Bang. So on a 10 plus, you on a hit, Trey blows, and a 10 plus, you pick 2 from the list. As we see these 2 Asian super-powered characters come face to face for the first time.
Yeah, I am going to resist or avoid their blows. And yeah, I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies. Just knock him off balance.
Cool. So describe and paint that panel or so in the comic book for me, please, Papillon.
Yeah. I think like there's just that leaping bit, like it mimics B-Cube's speed lines from before that he's like learning from his teammate. Then just slams this butterfly into Golden Fist's face. It detaches from his arm and absorbs into his mind, just making him reel back from the psychic shock.
Awesome. Your blow hits, and they're now angry with you, quite angry. But you have created an opening which would allow PopinJay to, who has stood there firm against this return blast, to strike. PopinJay, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly in and um, blast him at like point blank range.
Cool. So are you once again directly engaging a threat?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, but they've sort of swung past and overextended them. Their back is slightly to you, say, as a result, because they tried to lay out Papillion. So you've got the opportunity to do this. So let's directly engage a threat.
Uh, yeah, not that time. So I rolled a 5. I have -1 danger and +1 for the opportunity. So I'm still at a 5.
Okay, your fury is so fast. You hit him. You
Wait a
send him.
second.
Oh,
I'm going to assist with Troublemaker. I think what happens is I see PopinJay is like pulling up, and I yell, "Go for the uppercut!" I then like use my momentum to teleport Golden Fist just a few feet backwards, so PopinJay has to uppercut him through a store roof.
So that is going to, you're spending one team for that, yeah?
It's one team to boost it to 2 to a 7.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, so the impact being that you're going to do collateral damage as this hits. So look, Golden Fist only has one more condition. So you mark insecure as this uppercut lands. So describe how that looks to us, please, PopinJay, and describe the collateral damage you do as you hit them full on.
Well, as I said, I swooped in kind of over Papillon's head, and he shouts to go for the uppercut. And of course, since I don't have the super strength of my predecessors in the legacy, that means directly engaging him with my my blasters, but I do it in the manner that they suggested, and so it kind of hits him. The energy blast hits him in the chin and sends him hurtling through the air, and he kind of crashes into the roof of the store on the other side of the street.
So we see this flying up into the air, tumbling, and then this sort of look of Golden Fist's face as they realise they're falling. Their powered gauntlet smashing through the roof and hitting the floor of Mrs. Kim's shop, which explodes outwards with glass and Korean sweet treats and sweets and soda going everywhere.
Could I protect Mrs. Kim in any way to make
you've
she's not harmed
just
personally?
acted, but I'm going to let any one of the other characters react to that if they would like to.
Okay.
So Glitch or Bobby, what's your reaction as you see that you sort of see this happening? So you will, if anyone else would like to do a defend or something else, or try and even countermand what I just done with something like if they've got a cool idea of how they could unleash their powers, you let me know.
Well, I also have a question. Are the sidekicks of Golden Fist that they're still in the area?
Oh,
right?
they're still there, and they're still armed and dangerous, and you've just taken down their boss, so they're still there.
Okay. I think what Glitch says is Bobby B. That woman in the shop needs some help. Help her, and I'll take care of these guys out on the street.
So let's see Bobby B's move to begin with. So what are you doing, Bobby B, to try and do you want to try and stop the shop exploding, or you're going to pick up and try and protect Mrs. Kim? What's your gig?
I'm going to try to protect her, but I want to do something first in order to be able to do that more effectively.
Sure.
So my first reaction is like, it's raining sweets. This is totally sweet. But then I remember that if you put certain kinds of sweets and certain kinds of sodas together, it makes it can make an exploding thing. And I want to pick up an improvised bomb with my no powers and not nearly enough training skill.
Yeah.
Just to have on me in case someone follows me in there. And then, I will, if I've been tasked with taking care of, sorry, what was her name again?
Mrs. Kim.
Mrs. Kim. I will, run on in there, like sort of quietly stuffing my face with delicious treats, and look for Mrs. Kim. Is she easy to find?
Yeah, she's sort of the ceilings come down, so she's underneath some of the rubble, but you can get her out.
I am very strong. It's the one-arm push-ups. So I'm gonna get her out of the rubble and put her like behind a bar area where I think she'll be safer, and be like, stay here and let me handle the rest. And then what I would like to do, if anybody follows me in, is use some sort of booth or counter as a pommel horse, and Gymkata style. So I want to stand up to these dudes using Suck It, Domitian.
So yeah, let's say that's one of the goons sort of runs in to try and get Golden Fist out of here before you deal with that, and he sort of comes in and pulls up this energy weapon, which is normally used to take down sort of Goliath level superheroes. So if he fires this in here, never mind the ceiling, the back wall is going to go out. So roll it with your Suck It move.
Yeah. So I get to roll plus Savior to directly engage a threat, which is +2. Come on, nice. That's an 11.
Bang. So you're directly engaging a threat on the top of that. So effectively, it still pulls off the directly engage a threat move. Choose the 2 things from directly engage a threat you would like to happen.
Okay, let me pull up that tab. I always forget there's
resist to avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity from your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Okay. I would like to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition as one of them, and create an opportunity for my allies. I think. So I will post in the chat on the next break the very short video clip from Gymkata of exactly what's happening here. But if you picture like the back of a booth being used as a pommel horse, and I'm just like legs and arms are flying everywhere, and the ninjas are for whatever reason only attacking me one at a time, which makes it easier for me to kick them in the face.
Cool. Which leaves us outside with the remainder of the gang and Glitch. What are you doing, Glitch?
All right, so Glitch, you know, and since Bobby B was already kind of doing some impressive work in there, I'm going to look for my opportunity to grab onto an energy weapon of somebody near me, and and when I do that, I say, I love this new tech. And I'm going to try to use it's kind of a combination of my technopathy, but use that energy weapon to kind of enhance my own kind of glitchiness and, grab onto it and then kind of just manifest my transforming power, which is going to be kind of amplified by some of that energy that I'm able to kind of pull out of that weapon. What I'm trying to do is to be the monster. And I'm trying to do this very openly so that the other people, the other goons kind of see me and see what's happening as I'm trying to affect this move.
So be the monster is one of the transformed moves. So why don't you tell us what that does, Glitch?
Well, I think I'm trying to kind of use that power coming from that energy weapon, and it makes me actually get a little bit larger. You see me kind of growing, and you also see me kind of pixelating a lot. You see now that this person that kind of looked like a human doesn't really look like a human at all, and seems like that there's some type of added kind of power, kind of inexplicable, that's kind of radiating from him.
Cool. So you're trying to frighten or intimidate or cow with your monstrous form. You're going to roll with Freak.
Okay. And do I get that plus
that
one?
Plus one carries on because you're specifically picking on the goons and their weapons.
Right. Okay. Let me make my way here. Okay, so a 6, and then I have a plus.
Your Freak is 3 at the moment.
So I got a 10 on that.
Yeah, you got a 10. Bang. So on a hit, they're thrown off and make themselves vulnerable to you, or they flee. So I think when they see this and your weapons have no effect, they're going to try and flee the scene. But on a 10 plus, you choose one from the list of effects for using this power.
I think I will. I think I will feel more like a monster afterward. So the GM gets to choose a condition.
So they saw this. Everyone's seen this happen. I think you must be feeling a little bit insecure right now. But they start fleeing and running away from the scene, and then we step out of combat, and Mrs. Kim puts her hand on her face and goes, "What are you doing to my shop?"
I think
this is my fault. We'll take care of it.
it's not your fault. I teleported him into that direction. And Miss Kim, if you're going to blame anyone, blame me. PopinJay stopped him.
Oh, I blame you, Jerry Tran. Wait till I tell your mother.
Oh, go ahead and tell my mom like she needs any more against me.
You guys,
Yo, Mrs. Kim, these sweets are bomb.
you'll pay for that. Jerry Tran, you're a menace. And she's telling you who you are, Jerry Tran.
Well, I don't think I'm listening to her right now. This is started escalating very quickly. So luckily, I don't care what she thinks. At least so I get +2 to this. That's a 12.
Bang. On a 10 plus, you can choose 2 from rejecting someone's influence. Clear a condition or mark potential. Shift one label up or down, or cancel their influence.
I am going to shift one of my labels up and one of my labels down. And I am going to... I think I'm going to mark potential by proving them wrong. But he points his hand out to the rest of the crowd who's like are coming up from their, his butterfly-induced lethargy at least. But, they're alive. They tried to shoot these people with weapons of incalculable destruction. You're alive. Your shop can be rebuilt. I saved you. Next time, try thanks.
She puts her head down in shame at realizing that she let her fear take control of her, and mumbles something about being right. And all of a sudden, we see a set of drones drop out of the sky. They would be recognized as part of Dr. W's repair and reclamation team. And these drones immediately start clearing up and putting the shop back together behind you. You go, ooh, says Mrs. Kim. Clyden's going to fix my shop. I'm going to be the best shop in the town. She has turned her attentions away from you. How's the rest of the team doing?
Now, did the Golden Knuckle? Did he scurry off with the?
No,
others?
he's down and unconscious, and ready for you to do what you will.
I think what Glitch does. He's got to get a look at those cybernetic fists that he has. I think Glitch can't help himself, but kind of walks over and starts giving it a really kind of careful look at, and if the Golden Knuckle can is semi-conscious, he'll probably ask all sorts of really complex technical questions about the servo mechanisms and the interface that it's kind of using, and those types of things, trying to kind of get pump what information he can out of this
So it sounds the most close thing you're trying to do at the moment is actually to pierce the mask, right? Because or you can provoke them into telling you what you need to know, but I think pierce the mask is probably the most appropriate here. So on pierce the mask, you roll with mundane.
I'm not particularly mundane. I rolled a 3, which is down to a 2. That was.
Well, do mark potential,
Yes.
but you mark potential. I think you're a little bit more interested in the gauntlets than you are the person. You sort of snatch them off him, and are focusing on those gauntlets. And I think. I'll cut. Yeah, the clearing your conditions. Just to answer that question, Pearl, or is in the PDF of the click moves your clear condition. I'll answer that in a second. But yeah, as you're sort of focusing on this, and everyone's having the disagreement outside, it gives young Golden Fist the chance to sneak away. But you got the gauntlets, so that's all that really matters, and they're pretty cool. Does anyone want to do anything else in this scene or setup? We cut to a side panel looking down on this scene from a block or so further across in the block, and we spot Madame Bancho surrounded by she's with Madame Bancho is with Hackjack, and goes, it seems that Golden Fist did not live up to the reputation. He won't do at all, but at least we have tested that and understand more about the Vanguard. So, where does the team go next? Dr. W says, it's going to, like, this hologram appears and thumbs come up going, good job, gang. You managed to do it almost without destroying any property. But at least it was property. We can fix this. So, why didn't you meet me at the tower? Because I'd like to go through some things with you. But yeah, as I said, clear conditions. To remind you how you clear conditions. Every condition you've got to act out in a particular way to clear it. 2 seconds, so that's my doorbell. Coming. My doorbell ringing. 2 moments.
So in the meantime, Bobby B is like, yeah, the Vanguards. What does Vanguard mean, though? Do any of you know?
Yeah, the soldiers at the front. The ones who go in first.
Good, that's a good name then. We need like a battle cry. Like something better than just like Vanguard, you know, like a motto.
Right.
I think
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I think Jerry's just still like kind of sullen and sulky, and just like, you know, why not just punch first?
But I was thinking more like a victory chant, you know, like we would all do a group high five. Like Vanguard represent, or like Vanguard's guarding the city, but like cleverer, you know?
Vanguard's advance? Vanguard's... This is tricky. Maybe we should like get the English teacher.
Cool, but I'm not doing a good job.
We should get the English teacher to help. I mean, it's not like she's doing well at hiding her answers. She like pulls out an answer key and starts working on homework. Well, working on homework in the meantime.
Dude, you were my hero.
You want to borrow this?
You'd let me do that?
You're awesome, man. Of course. Anything I got, like me stolen stuff, you're stolen stuff.
Right.
You get cooler every day.
Papillion, is your brother around? Would he be around at this point with
Oh dear gods, I hope not, because I'm just pulling out. Yeah, let's talk about cheating at school. Oh, hi, bro.
Yeah, he's down here out. He called you in. I think he definitely comes up to like high five you, saying, "Hey,
hey,
skills."
Yeah, I like tell him. I just shove the answer key into Bobby B's hands. Oh, hey, bro. Like, everything's cool. Everyone's alive. The shop's being rebuilt. Yeah. We can tell Mom and Dad it was a success.
And Glitch would walk up and say, "Oh, this is your brother. This is the one that we helped. Wink, wink. That we helped with those loans, right?"
No, that was a glitch. Glitch.
He goes, hey, what? Oh, he goes, yeah, John Goldfish has been a pain around here for ages. I guess he's going to go to the Zig now, right? Where is he? Looks around.
Yeah, where is he?
And Glitch looks at those, the cybernetic fists and says, "Yeah, where is he? I was just trying to talk to him about this, but I guess I got too caught up in kind of investigating what's powering these things."
So, John, sorry, you sort of get, Diego looks at you and then looks at the rest of the team going, you took down villain terrorizing A-Town and you let him go?
Hey, man, we're here to defend the city. We're not killers.
I was like thinking arrest and imprisonment, trial, and
Do we look like cops? I don't think we can arrest people. Guys, can we arrest people? Because that would be, like, awesome.
We can do a citizen's arrest.
Diego looks...
Over to the police.
Diego looks truly crestfallen and disappointed. Papillion, how do you react?
I think I tried to like prop him back up. It's like, oh, come on, we'll find. Like, this is just a test. We've disarmed him. Glitch has his gloves. I mean, we have PopinJay with us. He's like, he's like our leader, and like, I'm the mascot.
Sort of like sighs and says, "Look, whatever you think's right, bro. I'm sure there'll be no repercussions from this. I'm sure you've done the right thing."
Oh,
but he's gonna try and do that. It depends how you're gonna react to the influence.
Oh, he's my brother. I have to react. I have to let this happen.
So, that being the case, I'm gonna shift your superior down, and I'm gonna shift your savior down. I'm gonna put your danger up.
Okay.
As your brother sees you in a slightly different light.
And don't forget, after we're done with this meeting with Dr. M, you owe me a burger and a shake.
Yeah, Diego, like, I have friends now. I mean, PopinJay and I are going out, like, to hang out. Bobby B teaching me how to dance.
What up?
So, yeah. You hang out with your friends. You hang out with your friends, Jerry. You just pop back whenever it's convenient for you, right? And
Yo, Papillon, this is your brother?
Yeah, and I think he's just. I mean, I kind of failed today. I mean, we
What are you talking about? We like kicked people through roofs and stuff, man. Yo, Diego, is that your name? Diego?
That's my name.
Cool, I'm Bobby B. What up? Anyway, I feel like you weren't actually here like helping, and maybe you should lay off your brother a little bit and back it up, because he's part of my crew. And when you roll with Bobby B has your back.
How does Jerry
And
react?
he's a hero, not a mascot.
Mm-hmm. How does Jenna react to the team ragging on Diego?
Yeah, bro, come on. Usually you have my back too. I mean, do you not believe in me anymore? I'm gonna put him on the spot then.
Sure, I believe in you. You're just in a bigger place now, right? It was inevitable, really. You were going to be a big hero and leave the neighborhood behind.
Dude, he just came to the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm speaking of my brother, you goober. None of your business.
Hey,
I'm gonna go ahead and clear a condition.
Look.
And also, hopefully,
a drive.
I didn't mark it as a drive. I almost put punch someone you shouldn't as a drive, and I didn't.
That would have been amazing.
Alas, but I would like to clear my condition that I had marked.
Sure.
We're angry and insecure. I'm gonna clear angry by punching my teammate's brother in the face because I assume he is someone important.
I think that's the case. As Bobby B sucker punches Diego, who goes down like a sack of potatoes.
So you want to tell me again what's my business, Diego?
I want to know what Papillion does first, because Diego's gone down.
Yeah, I think I lean down and like look like I'm being caring and just like get close. I'm like, look, they're my crew too. You've got to chill out, man. I'm gonna keep coming back unless you keep pulling shit like this. I want to say like I'm supporting Bobby B's action here.
Cool. So you're going to comfort, support, and take Bobby B's side, right?
Yep.
My man.
Whoa. Oh, well, it's only an 11 now, not a 12.
So, on hits, they hear you, and they mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels. So, Bobby B, do you take Diego's support?
You mean Papillion support?
Papillion support, sorry.
Yeah, I'll take his support. I was supporting him. He's supporting me back. This is what teams do.
Cool. You can also, on a 10+, you can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition yourself, Papillion.
I'm clearing guilty. I mean, he may have started this out on the high ground, but I'm sorry, he's Anakin now.
Yeah, he sort of stands up, tears his eyes, sort of holding his jaw, and says, "See you around, Jerry," and leaves.
So how about we all go out for burgers? We earned it.
I love burgers. Sounds great. Also, my hand kind of hurts, so a milkshake would be good, I bet. If I could hold it, it'd be like an ice pack that you drink.
Cool. So we'll have a little team scene where everyone is. Do you go out to a burger restaurant? Are you in your super duds? Do things get delivered to your house?
Oh, I think we have to all be out. I mean, PopinJay wanted to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to imagine it's like this like courtyard kind of thing with like those parasol umbrellas, but we also have the wings, so we have like double the shade.
Best team ever.
Cool. What's the name of the place that you're eating in? Is this a regular haunt?
Yeah.
In A-Town, or is it somewhere else?
It's Pie Shack. Even though it's called Pie Shack, they have the best burgers in town. But you always get a piece of pie too.
We should just set up our headquarters here.
And, and it's like if you're not at a table, people are tailgating, and just it's just a place where everybody just hangs out and makes noise, and it's the place for you know our age group in this town. Like it's the spot.
Cool. I think this is the point is you're sitting there having your meal. You're interrupted by the sorry, Chrome just crashed. I'm just opening all my tabs. You're interrupted by this Star Cub reporter from Champion News Network. Champion News Network run the newspaper and the local news in the town, and they're always interested in the hero affairs. She walks over to you, even though you've got like a mouthful of burger and having a quiet moment. She walks over, and there's a little camera drone following her, and she's got a mic out, and walks straight up and sticks the mic and the camera into PopinJay's face. What's her name, PopinJay? She's a young, shortish, smiling black woman dressed in a very comfortable, casual style. She says, "Hi." This isn't the first time that she gets into you and your family's business. What's her name?
Juanita, and she's just one name, you know, on her news network, and I'm since this is the first time I'm meeting her, I'm gonna kind of feel her out and try and figure out what's really going on with her, if she's phony or
So
someone reliable.
sounds like to me like you're trying to pierce the mask.
Yeah. And that is mundane.
That is, yeah, you're ruling with mundane.
Okay, so that brings me to a 9 because I have +1 mundane.
So on 7 to 9, you ask one from the pierce the mask questions.
Yeah, I want to know how to gain influence over her. I want her on the Vanguard side.
You can gain influence on her by helping her get the scoop and answering her questions. She's a reporter, right? You give her good news, she's on your side. So yeah, she says, "Hey, Vanguard." Said, "I heard you were here," and you can sort of see people with like cameras elsewhere in the place, just sort of pointing them at you. Superheroes have burger story on social media. You are an Insta story in a few locations. Said, "I heard you had a showdown in A-Town. I was wondering, how did you find out that sort of how did you find out those guys were there? I hear they were sort of all waving around defense team kit. That should be a bit worrying to you, right?"
Yeah, Glitch keeps a sharp eye out on the city, and um, and Papillion has his ear to the streets, and so does Bobby B. So um, what I don't see from a bird's eye view, the rest of our team is scouring the city trying to find difficulties like this, and they were making quite a bit of noise in that neighborhood.
The mic shoots across into Papillon's face on the camera and said, "Hey, are you saying that you sorted this out on your own? Emperor Norton didn't send you on this mission?"
I think Papillon is not in the mood for this, but he will try to get the mic back on PopinJay's face, just by swallowing his burger, like putting a piece of his fork in his pie. You heard what my boyfriend said.
Looks at you. So the camera sort of stays there painfully for a moment, and then it sort of shoots across to Glitch and going, "Hey, Glitch. I heard the bad guys got away. You got what was their names?"
What it was the golden fist with the crystal knuckle. And I tell you, you are exactly right about all of the defense kit. Let me tell you about what they had. And then Glitch just kind of proceeds, kind of oblivious to the fact that they really wouldn't be interested in all the super technical details, but he starts like really getting into, oh, they had two of those new whiz bang 54 stunners, and let me tell you what those things have going on inside of them. And he's just going to kind of rattle off all of the kind of tech specs of this stuff.
And then you sort of the camera sort of cuts across to Bobby B and go, "Hey, and Bobby B, can you tell me why you punched out Diego Tran, local lawyer and community activist?"
Reporter lady, I did have a reason, but it's not just about Diego. It's about this whole fight. When you're a part of a team, everything is awesome. And I am part of the coolest team in town, the Vanguard. This is my crew. And we look out for each other. And, I'm just about to leave high school. I could be just some kid, but I'm not, because I'm with this team. And that means that whether it's a bunch of whack dudes blowing up an awesome treat spot, or maybe we did that, but they would have done it probably, or it's one of their brothers, we have each other's backs because we all have different powers. We all have different skills. Some of us are smarter than others, but the one thing we all have is loyalty and commitment to doing the right thing.
Cool. So
That's
you're
the
saying
Vanguard.
Punching out a civilian who's a community activist is the right thing. Have I got that correct, Bobby B? B squared?
He was a
B-Qubed even.
dick.
B-Qubed, sorry. Cool. So I've got that. You will punch out people who are dicks to you and your team.
Well, there's a level above which, you can take things so far, and then sometimes you just gotta get punched.
You've got your sound bite, don't you?
There's I'll see you folks around. And she sort of I think that would be the case. She is a young adult, so she's gonna ask and say, so just so I understand, Bobby B, it's okay to punch out people who piss you off. That's the sort of hero that you are. And she's telling you that you're who you are and trying to
no, I'm rejecting her.
Okay.
I'm rejecting her. I have to roll something probably.
You need to reject. It's a flat roll. You're on just 2 dice.
8. It's an 11. So let me tell you something, reporter lady who doesn't put herself in the way of danger at all for anyone and just goes around trying to get a story to embarrass people because she gets her jollies off on making other people look bad so she'll feel better about herself. I don't punch people just because they're jerks. I punch people because they're bringing my team down. And when my team is down, we are not at our best to protect this city and its citizens, even people like you, who some might think wouldn't deserve defending, but we think does deserve defending because all citizens do. And that's what we're here for.
Cool.
And if it takes someone punching someone else to get it, damn right I'll punch them.
She smiles politely. So on a 10 plus, you can say clear a condition, a mark credential. You can shift one label of your choice, or you can cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. I'll let you think about that. But she looks and shuts off the camera and says, "Cool team you're hanging out with, PopinJay. Right sort of people. I'm sure Peregrine must be proud."
Yeah,
And
she is, and she should be, and so should you. She got I think she got the story she.
oh, she does. You can take an influence back against her, but she was not being sincere when she said "cool team."
Right. No, I got that. It's not going to be a nice story, but we'll be able to lean on her in the future for information or something.
Sure. So, look, burgers are eaten. Do you want soft roleplay time, or do you want to reframe?
I do want to do one thing. I want to have mechanically. I want to share a weakness or vulnerability with PopinJay
Sure.
at the burger's place.
Yeah.
And I think it's a soft thing of like, sorry about saying you were my boyfriend. I knew they'd never buy it, and they'd walk, push the camera right by me.
PopinJay puts his arm around Papillion and says, "You didn't see me object, but where there is something I am going to object to. You're not a mascot. You're a hero, and you're an equal part of this team." So in my celebrating after why did that do that? Okay, sorry. My computer looked weird for a second.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble finding the thing that says the team move. It was right in front. There it is. When you share a triumphant celebration, I see him as an equal, so you gain influence over me. But what if you already have influence over me?
Then I shift your labels.
Okay.
But with my vulnerability, you did that well. You gain influence over me as well, and you told me to be a hero. So I will mark potential if I prove you set myself to you as a hero. So I will shift your labels. Okay. I mean, you're amazing. Shift Savior up and freak down. I mean, you're so normal, and you.
So Superior's going up to the Savior's going up to 3, and Freak's going down to -2. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, Savior went up or Superior went up?
Savior.
Oh man, are you two an item now? That's so sweet.
Yeah, I think so.
Milkshakes are on me, everybody.
Oh, I mean, wait, we are?
Vanguard.
Well,
Vanguard.
Oh, wow. Vanguard.
And I think Glitch would like to try to do something during this scene. But David, the reporter that's talking to Bobby B,
yeah.
like with the camera set up, does it look like a camera? Like, is it a camera that kind of would be storing everything in itself, or would there be a van outside that it would be? I mean, would I be able to tell by looking at?
The network use and the drones, they sort of record the information, and as they're backing it up on the drone, they're also, where appropriate, 5G in it, 6G-ing it out into as a live a backup stream to be edited later on. If you want to try and do something to affect that, you could do so, which would be unleash your powers.
Yeah, I think that I would kind of, when the spotlight turns off of me, I think I definitely would be, you know, seeing what's kind of going on with this interview. I would try to kind of use my technological prowess to kind of foul up the kind of transmission that's going on, put a jammer on it or something like that.
Sure, then that would be an unleash your power to make sure that the whole thing was not recorded.
Okay, and this is with my freak. Okay. It seemed to roll the same thing. I got a 3, which would make it a 6.
On the bright side, you get a potential, but the story gets out there, and we see an off panel looking at the video being broadcast out a little bit later that evening. You see Severine, the Shadow Striker, sitting in a chair watching it. She sort of looks at it and raises her eyebrows and goes, "Oh, you've turned into a right jackass, Jerry Tan. I'm going to take you down a peg or two."
And a question about that action. Does that do enough to clear the insecure, which is take a foolhardy action without talking to your team?
I'm going to say yes, but the reason that being is that you mucked it up so badly, I'm afraid, Glitch, that you left some signature connections into the drone. So what I'm going to say is yes, you can clear it, but the ramification for that is that star reporter Anita Sanchez knows that you folks you tried to hack her feed. Because that ain't going to have any repercussions, or maybe it does. A little bit later that evening, we see a connection to your device, PopinJay, from Peregrine saying, "We need to talk as soon as possible." You know.
And I don't know anything about that hacking.
Nope.
Because, as you said, that was done without speaking to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So my connection is unstable. It says. Oh, now I pop back. I'm on Wi-Fi, and sometimes it gets a little weird. But a thing flashed on my screen. So I asked her. Doc M said he wanted to debrief the team. Do you want to speak before or after we go see the doc?
She responds back and says, "I think we should talk beforehand, don't you?" And then you sent a picture of, say, Bobby B punching out a civilian, is how it's been cut in the edit. And you see, say, the data sort of request and an official complaint to the Titans that Glitch has tried to hack Champion News Network hardware.
Okay. Um, I'll meet you guys later. Um, I've got a meeting before the meeting. Tell Doc to hold things up till I get there, and I fly off to meet Peregrine.
So I think we're framing this scene right. Actually, it's up above the clouds, right? You haven't met face to face. She only meets you up above the clouds when she's going to give you a right dressing down.
Right.
So she's standing there as you arrive, or sort of floating with her hands on her hips, and looks at you and says, "I am really, really disappointed in you, PopinJay. If you're going to live up to that name and that legacy you've taken, whatever the provocation, we don't hurt those in need. Do you think that what your teammate did was acceptable?"
Uh, no, probably not.
Probably. What's the probably about it, PopinJay?
I like his instinct for Bobby B to stand up for his teammate, but against the civilian, it really wasn't necessary. And he should, brothers should be allowed to work their own stuff out.
If you and your team start punching out people who disagree with you and have got a bone to pick with you and your team, then you're going to be hitting a lot of innocent people, PopinJay. And if you're going to be the leader that I think you need to be, then you need to step up and put your team in line. And she's telling you that you're not doing a good job. Are you accepting her influence or are you rejecting it?
I think I'm I think I'm arguing with her. I'm gonna try to reject it. Um,
Cool.
I'm gonna say to her, I'm not gonna dress down my teammates in public the way the Titans like to do us. Uh, as my rebuttal. And what do you roll to resist?
It's
It's
just a
just D6,
straightforward
right?
flat roll, 2d6.
11.
Okay, so you're rejecting their influence, and you choose from the list whether you're going to clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, shift one label up or down of your choice, or cancel the influence and take +1 forward against them. You get to choose 2 from that because you rolled at a level 1 up.
Okay, so I'll take another potential,
Cool.
and um, so that actually brings me to 6.
So you
I've got
you take an advance. Let's figure out. You can choose your advance after this. Yep.
I don't want to cancel her influence over me. That's not applicable. Um, let me look at that again. I'll I think I'm going to shift my danger up. Oh no, wait. Danger already went up. No, my superior. I'm going to make superior go up, and um, no, it is danger. I'm going to take danger up and mundane down.
Okay. So she looks at you, a clear look of disappointment in her eyes, and looks at you, shakes her head, and says, if that's the way that you feel, and if that's the sort of hero that you want to be, so be it. And she flies away. And look, it's 10 past 12 there. I think that leaves us with a good kicking between the legacy and there as a good place to close down today's issue. And we'll pick up with Dr. W and what was happening there in issue 2 when we have Tank back. Okay, I'm going to